Now, how has COVID affected you?
We've probably lost about 10 or 15% of our business before March. So it was starting to slow down. You could see it. Once they turned around and shut the restaurant down, obviously we lost everything as far as our business was concerned.
Everyone comes with thank you, Dolly, for the food. It was so good.
But that all came to an end when the pandemic hit in March.
Like, what's the point? We can't go outside, we can't eat any place. I mean, there are a lot of people who are older that live by themselves. They have nowhere to go. This was a community for them. This was like family. I'd see them every day. And it was really, really difficult to see my customers in that state during COVID and the lockdown.
The legendary Midtown Restaurant 21 Club says it's closing indefinitely because of the pandemic.
They don't have this in the Bronx. They got some word of mouth, depending on overcrowdedness, because they're trying not to have to gather a lot of popular gatherings to prevent, these cases of COVID-19.
Lee says because of the pandemic, those businesses understandably are only able to pay a fraction of their rent.
No, the suppliers, the vendors, they want to be paid within 30 days, and the landlord is looking for his rent on a monthly basis. So it's extremely challenging, even though they understand what the situation is, they still want their money on time.
You can do indoor. You can have indoors now.
25%.
25%. So is that kind of done well for your business?
Okay, so no, because it's not enough.
You know what? The indoor diner, the small business is problem because it's a lot of to do a lot of things. You got 3 or 4 tables. Doesn't work. Yeah. You got cooking. You got expenses. You got for the small places. Problem because gonna be 3 or 4 tables. Doesn't help.
I mean, as we work with you and Mayor de Blasio, what are your feelings about that?
Governor Cuomo says if the new restrictions don't slow the spread in New York, even stricter measures could come.
If the national numbers are going up and the states around you are going up, be prepared.
Income, more help from the city.
They can open up gyms. Why can't they open up restaurants? It's a joke.
Yeah.
The mayor and the governor need to retire.
Okay, all right.
Because it's a joke. It doesn't make any sense.
We don't know. They don't know how to deal with the pandemic. But the biggest problem I have with them, they don't get along.
People haven't been vaccinated. It's none of my business, but we can't start discriminating and segregating people on that.
Business-wise, we're down 10%. Yeah. I don't see my regular customers. I've been in the neighborhood for so long. I don't know how we'll be able to survive.
Yeah.
As for the rising coronavirus cases in our area, restaurants may be part of the problem. Some of those positive test results, but it is still nonetheless a gut punch to restaurants in New York City.
A big hit is really made things very difficult to survive because the expenses are still coming in, yet there's no income.
They can become, more creative and more daring when it comes to shutting down avenues and streets.
A truck plows into diners eating outside in Sunset Park, injuring several people.
It's a hell and it's a curse to have this outside area because they did it. It's great for us, but then it's more regulation.
Jasmine, what are we looking at?
Whoa! Very vague guidelines to start with. And everybody built the things already. Now you spent all this money, and then they come back and say, "No, that's wrong." That's what you told us how to do it. And then they give you a violation of just all those violations that you're non-compliant. And it's like, well, it's non-compliant how? Because it's obvious if I'm following your paperwork and I'm doing it wrong, then I don't understand it. Tell me why it's wrong.
I've been doing this for 40 years, and you got to change your whole way of doing things because you still got to pay the rent. It's not like they're saying, and even so, why? We're not making any money.